I came to Lehigh because I think it's a university that's a perfect size. It's a perfect match. It's not too big. It's big enough to have the classes and the diversity that students want, but it's not so big that undergraduates don't get the attention that they deserve. As an undergraduate student, you want to go to some school that places an emphasis on undergraduate learning, and Lehigh is a school like that.
I would say that we have the amenities of a much larger research university, but at the same time, we're able to offer to students that very small, private, personal kind of approach to higher education.
I would say that the learning environment here is very supportive. Even in classes where there's been no group work involved, kids are always talking about things together, and it's a very collaborative effort. It's not everyone out for themselves at all. It's very much like a team, very supportive.
It's pretty rigorous. All the students really care about their studies. It's definitely a studious atmosphere, which is good for everyone. It really motivates you and keeps you going.
The emerging issues and problems that we are facing in the world and that our students are going to have to solve fall between the boundaries of the traditional disciplines. A number of different disciplines need to be combined together to be able to attack these problems and solve them, not so much for the old professors, but for the students' generation themselves. They're the ones that's going to be facing the issues. They're the ones that are going to have to solve them. They're going to have to use interdisciplinary approaches.
No student's ever going to graduate and work in a vacuum. Really, the most complex problems can't be solved just from a single perspective. So having that interdisciplinary approach, I think, is key to solving some of the biggest problems that we're facing.
We think that that is very, very important, that students have a chance and an opportunity to explore the breadth and the depth of the curriculum before finally deciding this is what I want to do as a lifetime application.
I'm a computer science engineer, but I've been able to take classes in the Arts and Science College, in the Business College, and actually have those credits applied towards my major. I've taken guitar classes, I've taken theater classes, I've taken intro to business courses, so it makes me really well-rounded.
You know, not be forced into a specific program. I can take engineering classes if I want to, even though I'm in arts and science.
Much of what students will do in the future, particularly those that come from institutions like Lehigh, will require very effective communication skills, both written and oral. A liberal arts background gives you the foundation to be able to communicate effectively across multiple fields.
Lehigh, at its best, especially in the College of Arts and Sciences, serves liberal arts education. And by that I mean we teach students to think creatively and critically and across multiple disciplines.
I came from a smaller school with very few students in the class, so that's how I have been raised and have been cultured to learn best. And at Lehigh, you get that same experience. The classes are very intimate, nothing's very large that you feel just one in a sea of 100. You'll be one in a small pond of 20.
I have to prepare students to function in a future where they will be leaders. I try to get them to learn how to shape direction, how to think critically about issues, and also how to think differently about questions that are both provocative and will establish them as leaders in their field.
They really encourage a lot of interaction in the classroom. They encourage students to think a lot and pose their own questions and discuss topics amongst each other. They really try and teach students to learn and not just to teach students to pass a test or pass the class.
I really have been surprised time and again by the faculty here, how personable they are, how genuinely interested in the student body they are.
They're extremely passionate about what they do. They're willing to help you in any way they can. They're here for a reason, they're here for a purpose, and that's to help you further educate yourself.
I went to breakfast at a cafe off campus, and my history professor came in. Courtney, how's it going? What are you reading? Because I was doing some work, and he was genuinely interested to know how my day was going, what I was doing there.
Being able to be engaged with students who are at the beginnings of their careers, their intellectual life, is what invigorates faculty teaching at Lehigh. It's certainly one of the high points of my day when a student comes into my office and we have a discussion about some subject, and I can't even tell you, it could range over anything.
Faculty are really supportive of what students do, so when you see a faculty member outside the classroom, it's much more informal. You can really get to know them, so they don't just become some professor that you only see for 50 minutes twice a week. They become someone that you actually do get to know on a personal basis.
Getting involved in undergraduate research is one of the central questions that anyone should ask when they're considering a school. Going to a college is not like going to high school. It's not high school on steroids. It really is the first step towards the rest of your life. And independent research is your chance to actually spread your wings and develop as an intellectual individual.
I have found that the undergraduate students who I've worked with have been really instrumental, not only in conducting my research, but in framing the questions and thinking through the analysis. Students who have that one-on-one direct attention from a professor are getting an experience that you just can't put a value on.
I definitely think the hands-on approach is something that every student should experience, and Lehigh does such a great job of getting its undergraduates onto the mountaintop campus to be involved in research. I am currently doing undergraduate research with one of the associate chairs of the biology department, and with Lehigh's help, I've been doing things that I didn't think I would be doing as an undergraduate.
One gets very, very highly credentialed students. We're like many other fine universities in that regard. What distinguishes Lehigh students in my now 25 years here is they come very, very highly motivated and with a deep commitment to engagement. You put opportunity in front of Lehigh students, they jump on it.
The one thing that I give to my students is the advice that you got to figure out what you want to do, not just today, but what's your purpose in life. And so finding something that you're passionate about and not focusing so much on the dollar value that you're going to bring home, but do you love your job?